story begins with Laura Blacklock, a skilled journalist well known in her field. Some time ago, while preparing to interview a woman with crucial information, tragedy struck. The woman was drowned before she could tell Laura the truth. Still haunted by that night, Laura tries to move forward. Soon, her ex, Ben Morgan, tries calling, but Laura ignores him. Her colleague suggests she take a break, but Laura refuses. She explains that a powerful businessman, Richard Bullmare, is hosting a charity gala aboard his luxurious yacht. His wife, Ann Ling, is battling stage for cancer, and this gala will launch a foundation in her name. Laura has been invited to cover the exclusive event. When Laura arrives at the dock, Carla, the yacht's chief steward, welcomes her aboard and escorts her to cabin number 8. She meets Dr. Mehta, Ann's attending physician, and a few other guests before spotting Ben Morgan among them, the reason he had been calling. Later that evening, Richard greets everyone warmly. He explains that Ann is unwell but will join the next day. An older singer makes her grand entrance, one whom Laura's mother has adored for years. Trying to keep things professional, Laura mingles politely, but when she sees Ben approaching, she quickly ducks into a room to avoid him, where she unexpectedly finds another woman. At dinner, luxury and elegance fill the air as guests enjoy a refined meal. Afterward, Ann's head of security, Sigrid, privately escorts Laura to meet Ann and compliments Laura's work, revealing she personally invited her aboard. Frail and pale, Ann admits she has stopped her medications and shows Laura her speech for the gala. Reading it, Laura realizes and plans to give away all her wealth to her new foundation, cutting Richard out entirely. "It's time I give back what I took from the world," Ann says gently. They agree to meet again the next day. That night, Laura dreams of drowning. The memory of the woman she once couldn't save. Suddenly awakened by muffled screams and thuds, she steps onto her balcony. To her horror, a woman's body floats lifelessly in the dark water below. Panicked, Laura alerts Carla. A code red echoes through the yacht as the captain gathers the guests. Laura explains what she saw, a woman with blonde hair falling from cabin 10. Yet the captain claims there's no one staying there. The guest assigned to that room canceled 2 days ago. When Laura insists there was blood on her balcony glass, she's stunned to find it wiped clean. The cigarette the woman had flicked earlier is gone too. Everyone dismisses her claims as stress or imagination, and the search is called off. The next morning, Laura's internet suddenly stops working. She confronts Richard, insisting she saw the woman, and demands to see the crew. Richard obliges, the crew lines up, but none match Laura's description. Feeling isolated, Laura turns to Ben for help, who advises caution. Later, Laura revisits Ann, but insists softly, "I'm not feeling well today. My medications make me weak." Uneasy, Laura checks Ben's camera from the night before, hoping to find proof. In one image, she spots the same blonde woman, but Ben reveals it was taken months ago. When Laura shows the photo to Richard and the others, no one recognizes her. Dr. Mehta intervenes, reminding Laura she witnessed a murder just 2 months ago. "You're traumatized," he says kindly, though his tone feels rehearsed. To calm her, Richard arranges a spa treatment. But while Laura showers afterward, someone writes, "Stop," on the misted glass. Terrified, she questions staff, but no one admits anything. She then notices strands of her hair clogging the drain, or someone else's. Determined, Laura sneaks along her balcony to cabin 10, a dangerous maneuver over the frigid sea. She finds blonde hair in the sink drain, seals it in a bag, and shows Ben. "This proves she existed," she insists. But Ben pleads, "Drop this, Laura. These people aren't ordinary. When we dock, we'll go to the police together." She reluctantly hides the evidence, but suspicion consumes her. At lunch, she speaks with Lars Jensen, whose AI company specializes in facial recognition, one that Richard recently invested in. Hours later, while wandering alone, she feels a shove, plunging her into the pool. The pool cover slides closed over her. Guests watch her thrash beneath the glass, unable to hear her desperate screams. When she's pulled out, drenched and shaking, Laura accuses someone of trying to kill her, but again she's dismissed. Spotting a missing button on Dr. Mehta's shirt matching one she found in her room, she confronts him. He denies everything. Her paranoia grows. The next night, while sitting in her cabin, Laura hears footsteps outside. She follows the shadow deep below deck through narrow corridors, and suddenly freezes. The blonde woman stands before her, alive. "You see me now. I'm fine. Just stop," the woman whispers. Laura recognizes her voice from the stop message on the shower. The woman warns, "He'll kill you," before striking Laura unconscious and locking her away. When Laura awakens in a storage room, realization strikes. That woman isn't Ann. She's her double. The body Laura saw in the water was the real Ann. Soon, the imposter appears again. Laura confronts her. "You're not Ann. You didn't know she'd stopped her medication." The woman breaks down. My name's Carrie. I never wanted any of this. She reveals that Richard discovered and planned to disinherit him. To secure the fortune, he hired Lars's tech to find a lookalike, Carrie, who agreed to impersonate and for a day to sign the will, in exchange for money to care for her daughter. But real and saw Carrie in her cabin, and a struggle ended with Richard killing his wife. To cover it up, he disposed of the body and cleaned every trace of blood. I had no choice, Carrie whispers. He'll kill me if I stop. Laura pleads. He's using you. Once you sign, he'll silence you too. But Carrie hesitates and sticks to Richard's plan. That night, fireworks light the sky as guests celebrate above deck. Unaware Laura is locked below. Meanwhile, Dr. Mehta confides in Richard that he's nervous about Laura. Richard coldly reminds him of the favor he did years ago. Hearing their conversation, Carrie sneaks in to release Laura, whispering that the ship will dock in 2 hours. Laura urges, don't sign that will. I'll save you. But Carrie flees, terrified. At dawn, guests disembark. Dr. Mehta searches for Laura. Unaware she hides on board. Then, unwilling to leave without her, promises to return. Laura seizes the moment, retrieving the real will from Anne's drawer. She tries contacting the Coast Guard through the ship's radio, but Dr. Mehta appears with a syringe. The chase ensues. Ben rushes to help, but the injection meant for Laura pierces him instead. As he collapses, Mehta attacks again, strangling Laura until Ben, barely conscious, saves her, dying in the process. Laura leaps into the freezing ocean to escape. Against all odds, she reaches shore, shivering and exhausted, and finds shelter in a nearby house. Lighting a fire, she clutches Anne's genuine will close to her chest. Meanwhile, Richard assumes she's dead and orders Mehta to handle Carrie after the gala. That evening, Carrie, disguised as Anne, signs the official documents but hesitates, revealing a flicker of doubt. At the same gala, Laura infiltrates the event. Spotting Sigrid, she confides, "Anne is dead. The woman you're protecting is an imposter. Richard killed her to seize her fortune." Laura hands Sigrid the real will as proof. Richard takes the stage to deliver his emotional speech. Suddenly, Laura steps forward, her voice cutting through the murmurs. "And wanted her money to go to charity. Richard killed her to stop it." Security rushes to silence her, but the crowd intervenes, shouting, "Let her speak!" Laura exposes the truth, displaying the real will for all to see. "Anne's signature, not this forgery," she says firmly. Richard snaps, ordering the mic cut. Carrie trembles, then gathers her courage and admits publicly, "What she's saying is true. I'm not Anne." The crowd gasps. Furious, Richard grabs Carrie, pressing a knife to her throat. "You ruined everything," he shouts, dragging her toward the docks. Laura follows. From a distance, Sigrid aims her pistol and fires, hitting Richard in the shoulder. Even wounded, he lunges at Carrie once more before Laura rushes forward, disarming him and stabbing him with his own knife. With Richard finally dead, the nightmare ends. The truth spreads quickly. Laura's bravery uncovers the cover-up, restoring Anne's name and exposing Richard's greed. Carrie vanishes quietly, starting a new life with her young daughter. Laura, now both survivor and storyteller, writes her account, ensuring Anne's final act of generosity lives on.